Recently on my social media, I received a question on a blog, and it was basically a statement as, can you explain, Dr. Demartini, how you can have and access the hidden order in everyday life? And so in order to develop that, let me just say that according to Claude Shannon and information theory, which a couple guys got a Nobel Prize for, they describe that the tendency to go from order to disorder, which is entropy, is a tendency to lose or miss information. Entropy is missing information. So whenever we are unconscious of things, we're losing information. We're forgetting things, you might say, or not knowing things. Not knowing and forgetting things are kind of like missing information. But when we reclaim that information and rediscover that knowledge or that information, we go from disorder to order. And so when we're infatuated with somebody and we're conscious of the upside and unconscious of the downside, we have missing information in the sense of the downsides. So we're temporarily infatuated. We have an impulse to seek them out. We fear their loss. We sacrifice ourselves to try to live in their values initially until we develop resentment and get back to our own identity. But we end up having the drama of the infatuation. And what's happening is we have intrusive thoughts. They occupy space and time in our mind while we're infatuated. If we resent somebody and look down on somebody, and we're conscious of the downside, and now we're unconscious of the upside, we got missing information again. And we have drama, because if we're highly resentful, they can occupy space and time in our mind and make it hard to sleep at night and have insomnia. And then what's happening is in the first case, when we're infatuated, we're too humble to admit what we see in them is inside us. When we're resentful, we're too proud to admit what we see in them inside us. So we have a kind of a deflected awareness. We have disowned parts. We're dismembering what we don't remember what it is and where we've done the same behavior. And so we put people on pedestals or pits instead of putting them in our heart. But if all of a sudden we ask, what is the downside of the person we infatuate with, and become aware of what they are, we can learn that through trial and error over time and have the wisdom of the ages with the aging process, or we can ask quality questions initially, which is what I teach in the breakthrough experience and the Demartini method. What are the downsides of this individual we're infatuated with? Or what are the upsides of the person we resent? If we find what the missing information that we are now emotionally dramatized by with these emotions of infatuation, resentment that occupy space and time in our mind and make it hard to sleep at night, insomnia, if we ask the question and reclaim the missing information and bring the perceptions back into balance, where we realize that the person that we infatuate with and admire has just as many downsides, we will discover them over time. Anybody been in a relationship for months or years knows that. And the person that or the individual that we see that we resented will eventually realize that, hey, that was a catalyst. They helped us become more independent. They helped us in many ways. We see the benefits. Why have the wisdom of the ages with the aging process when you can ask the questions and become aware of it now and balance the equation? When you do, you don't have a desire to try to sacrifice yourself for them. You don't have a desire to try to sacrifice them for you, which are both futile and cause disorder, emotional disorders and judgments and drama. And we call that the apparent chaos of daily life. But if we balance the equation and we realize that they have both sides, we have both sides, and they're neither put on pedestals or pits, they're just put in our heart. Now we actually are reclaiming the information that was missing, and we're seeing the hidden order. It was hidden from our awareness because we were blind when we started. Infatuation is blind, resentment is blind, but not love. I remember people saying that love is blind. No, it isn't. Infatuation, which is confused with love, is blind. True love, if you've been married to somebody for 60 years, I met somebody yesterday with 60 years. If you've been married for 60 years, you know full well the things you like and dislike, the positives and negatives, but you still embrace them. True love embraces the positive negatives and sees both and is aware of both and knows what you're dealing with. But infatuation is blind. It doesn't see the downsides. Resentment is blind. It doesn't see the upsides. Therefore, you have emotional drama, and you have the amygdala assigning valency stored in our hippocampus, which is our subconscious mind. It causes all these impulses and instincts and drama and distraction. But the second we balance our equation by using our executive center, our forebrain, and basically asking quality questions, the quality of your life is based on the quality of the questions you ask. If you ask quality questions to make you fully aware of both sides simultaneously, then you know somebody. You know, in epistemology, the study of knowledge, when you're infatuated, you're ignorant of the downside, you don't know them. When you're resentful, you're ignorant of the upside, you don't know them. When you know both sides of them, you come to know them, and you love them. And so love liberates. Drama, emotions, incomplete awarenesses, missing information, and bondages. Because anything you infatuate, resent, occupies space and time in your mind and runs you. You're externally driven instead of internally called and internally active. Whenever you're having a balanced orientation, the blood glucose and oxygen goes into the forebrain, activates the ventral medial prefrontal cortex, causes spontaneous acts of love, spontaneous inspired actions, and this is where you maximize your potential. So the question is, can you explain the concept of the hidden order in everyday life? Well, the hidden order is always there. It's waiting for us to ask the right question and to become conscious of what we've been unconscious of, the missing information, to reclaim it and become aware of the hidden order that's there. I have the opportunity in the breakthrough experience, as I've traveled around the world and presented this, of people every single week I do it. People coming in with all kinds of chaos and drama and judgments and missing information. And when they leave, they reclaim the information, and they're in this tears of gratitude, and they saw the hidden order to their apparent chaos. They liberated themselves from the baggage and bondage, the missing information state of their amygdala, and got themselves back in their executive function, their authentic self, where they love. Your authentic self loves. It sees whole. Your inauthentic self is dramatized by all kind of incomplete awarenesses. So take the time to prioritize your life. Take the time to ask quality questions. That's why I tell people to come to the breakthrough experience so you can learn some. And learn the Demartini method, which is nothing but a series of quality questions that help you see the hidden order and the apparent chaos. And free yourself up of a bunch of emotional baggage. There's no reason you have to stay there. The hidden order is always there. You just haven't asked the right question to see it. When you do, you'll be brought to tears of gratitude for the magnificence that's there. The magnificence of how it actually is far greater than the fantasies we keep imposing on things. So just want to let you know that the only thing that's keeping you from seeing the hidden order is the questions and the awareness and full consciousness. The subconscious mind stores all the conscious, non-conscious, incomplete awarenesses. Your superconscious mind sees things whole. And when you actually love, you see things whole. I look forward to seeing you either at the breakthrough experience or further in these little programs that I do, these little presentations. Just know you can ask quality questions and have a quality life.